We're going to also go live out on YouTube right now. And there we are. Okay. Hope everyone can see us. All right. Good afternoon or good evening. So what I wanted to share with you today, it's Easter to me is always a very, very special occasion. It symbolizes many things, for many different cultures, but in the Christian tradition, it really is a symbol of, Christ's resurrection. But in many ways, it's a symbol of incredible hope and rejuvenation of what the possibilities are of the human spirit, to win truth, as I mentioned in my tweet over lies. It's a big a victory of freedom over slavery. It's a big victory of health over disease, and fundamentally life over death. And that's what I think it fundamentally realizes to many people of the Christian faith. But for me, it symbolizes all those things, but it also is an important occasion to be grateful for everything that is going on. And in an interesting way, as I've been sharing with people, the convergence for me of, this entire history of politics, science, medicine, and health coming together, and the fact that we're running for U.S. Senate at a very interesting time. And then the coronavirus incident really has created an ironic opportunity where there's a great awakening, where people are recognizing that it's time for people to also rise up and take control of their lives in a very fundamental way. And I think that's what this opportunity really presents. I've been getting literally inundated. So any of you who are sending me text messages and tweets and emails, we literally have a team of people trying to help me get back to them. We're literally getting probably 5,000 to 7,000 to 10,000 messages if you look across all of our platforms, or more. Probably up to 20,000 if you include all the responses and comments every day on Facebook, on Twitter, on email. But Michelle was just telling me that we've been getting thousands of letters. I mean, this is just a small set of them. There's letter after letter after letter coming in from all over the country, and for that matter, internationally from all over the world. So what I wanted to really hopefully make everyone feel really great about is, I know with all the unfortunate stuff that's going on with the social distancing, quote unquote flattening the curve and isolating us, it's still a moment through this medium. Fortunately, we can still communicate a lot of important education and concepts and truth. But it's really resulted in a fundamental way of many of you writing back, many of you sharing your amazing stories. And what I wanted to do is we actually wanted to read. We can't read people's first names, but we wanted to share with you the enormous movement that's taking place for truth, freedom, and health. And on what better occasion than to do it, sharing the light on this occasion of Easter. So I'm going to start with one of them. Michelle will, essentially, Michelle, why don't you?
I'll start. I've got a great one. This one is, it says, "You are awesome. We watched your interview on Next News Network. We love you. Go get them."
So the important thing is, I want to share with you, the people that are writing to us are people from everyday working people. I'm going to read this letter that comes from a nurse. And it says, "I am a registered nurse currently employed as a clinical instructor for a major university. I have listened to your theory and explanation of systems theory in the deep state. I was especially interested in your stance on quote-unquote peer-reviewed journals, as this is such a huge focus at academic institutions. I've been sharing your videos with anyone willing to be open to the idea that there is truth in the world and a natural order in the process of it. I pray for the Lord to keep you safe and give you the strength to continue on. And I pray for the world to allow their hearts and minds to be open to the truth and possibilities of the information you are presenting. Please accept." People are actually supporting the campaign, so I'm very, very grateful. People don't have to do that. Obviously, we considered, very honored to receive that. And this is for someone in Maryville, Tennessee. So thank you very much, Victoria. But this message is really not for me, it's really for everyone. Michelle?
Right. We also got a handmade card. It's on poster board, and there's this cool cutout on the front, and you can tell the kids helped because their signatures are in large print. And it says, "Dear Dr. Shiva, this card is just to show my deepest appreciation for all that you are and all that you are doing for humanity. You are so courageous to speak out on all of the corruption. You are a superhero. to me, your level of intelligence and relentlessness and capacity to increase public awareness on important issues does not go unnoticed. Sending you and anyone who supports your efforts much love and gratitude for all that you're standing for. Best of luck, gratefully. And then their name.
I think one of the important things is we have so many people, as people, if you're eating dinner, we don't want to interrupt you, but one of the things I wanted to emphasize is there's so many extraordinary people that have come up. These are working people. These are not lawyers and lobbyists involved in this movement. These are people, bottoms up people, nurses, working mothers, families, working fathers, that have really been moved by the fact that there's an opportunity now to really change things at a fundamental level, even in the midst of this quote-unquote crisis. And by the way, when I mentioned ordinary people, this one's coming from a retired plumber. And he says, thanks for all your info and knowledge. And he gives his email address. So nurse, plumbers, mothers. Go ahead, Michelle.
And this one is from, I won't share her name.
Tawana.
My name is Tawana. I would like to share with you some ideas that might be helpful. My background is that I hold a BS in education, 108-hour certification in homeopathic medicine, owner of 4 businesses, flight attendant, president of a nonprofit, actress, producer, and health researcher as a hobby. So this woman is clearly busy and active. In the U.S., allopathic medicine is what the CDC recommends, our government funds, and most doctors practice. A study showed with the Spanish flu pandemic that 30% of the people that used allopathic medicine died, whereas 1% died that used homeopathic medicine. So again, just they send in information, they send their gratitude.
I think the important thing is you look at someone like that, it's really the fiber what makes this country enormously different than many countries. But right now with this crisis, you see working people all over the world, and the economy is being hit really hard. So here's someone who does 4 or 5 different jobs. We have a plumber, we have a nurse. But what's extraordinary is people are taking time. Our website's been inundated, so people are literally going back to snail mail. This one is, hi Dr. Shiva, and this is a retired, unemployed Uber driver, unemployed Uber driver from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and he says, my name is Ted, half a continent away in Colorado. My neighbor emailed, and he put it all caps, one of your videos, and after watching, went straight to your webpage and started reading. When finished, I was at peace. It was as if I was looking in the mirror and seeing myself. Finally, agreement with another human being. There are many of us out here that need your platform. So anyway, I think that's what's pretty cool about this whole thing is because what's happening with this information is many people already know it. It's not like I'm some brilliant guy suddenly coming up with all this. This has always been in the ether. Yeah. My humble role here has been to be a catalyst to really put it into a format because people are so busy. I've been given the fortune of being learning this and being able to communicate it. But this, as Ted says here, he says it very, very articulate. It says, it was as if I was looking in the mirror and seeing myself. And this is what brings us all together. It's this connection to the truth, which goes beyond any one individual and goes literally to the light of God in many ways. That's why Easter is such a powerful occasion that I'm very, very blessed to get all these amazing letters.
I have another one. I reside in Georgia, but I support your run for Senate with the hopes that your depth of integrity will wake many up. We are at a tipping point. You, fine sir, will tip the scale, whether you win or lose the race or not. Thank you,
Kathy. Yeah. We have people from Netherlands writing, and yesterday I did a 1-hour talk with people in Poland. The video that we did apparently reached 4 million people all over Poland in about 5 to 6 days. I did a very nice talk with a up-and-coming woman who's hosting a show in Africa, in Lagos, Africa. So it's all quite cool. We'll finish up with a couple more. This one is, Dear Dr. Ayadure, I learned about you from Sam Tripoli's podcast. One of the things I want to mention is none of the mainstream media really wants to cover us. And that's fine. That's okay. remember, the real movements will not come top down. And I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to do another longer show at 9:30 today, but I'm really going to talk about the fact that, people who are tweeted out, they're basically going to become irrelevant, and it's really going to be us coming bottoms up. But as this is from Dave in Kalamazoo, and what Dave says is, I learned about you from Sam Tripoli's podcast, and I want to say that I appreciate what you're doing. Honestly, I'm not sure what you are right or wrong about, but I love your systems approach. That is something we sorely need more from our leaders. Best of luck to you and your campaigns. Thank you.
I have a great one.
Yeah.
Dear Dr. Shiva, I am so grateful for you. You speak the truth. I am 74 years old and have been trying to tell people that this is planned, and nobody believes me. So I am so happy I stumbled upon your talk, so I know what I was concerned about is true. Thank you. We will be praying for you.
That's from Judy. This one's interesting. This one's from someone in Delaware who is a Greek immigrant. And he says, thank you. He goes, as a parent of a vaccine-injured child, we would like to thank you for your willingness to discuss the issue of vaccines and how the science is not settled and actually offer a viable solution moving forward. Your video testifying in front of the committee in Connecticut was telling. We share the same story. I'm also a legal immigrant from Greece. I realized my dream of coming to the USA at the age of 36. In 2014, I became a U.S. citizen, and it has been one of the highlights of my life, overshadowed only by the births of my children and my wedding, of course. I have also recently saw your interview in SGT Report, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Again, SGT Report, another, true media source who comes not from the mainstream media. Sir, I wish we were closer so that we can physically help your campaign. You have an uphill battle, and I really hope you can have the opportunity to talk to as many people as possible, since you do have a gift talking to people and relating to them and thus changing their minds. May God bless you and good luck. That's from Nikos in Delaware.
I have another one. This one, you want to read this one?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Okay. This is a farmer wrote in, and he's...
Where is he from? Texas?
He's
farmer
from
in
Texas. Yeah. And he said the website would not let him donate, so he is mailing it in. We need you. So thank you for sending this, August. And
August is the name of the farmer.
It's the name of the farmer. We appreciate your, getting that to us.
By the way, one of the common themes you'll see here is the letters that we're getting, the stuff that we get, by and large, it's a lot of everyday working people like all of us. It's not some politicos. It's, as I keep mentioning, it's not people coming top down. So I find that really, really heartwarming and very, very encouraging. People are rising. This one is from Stephen and Grace, husband and wife. They say, my wife and I saw an interview with you on the internet and were impressed. Your life story is truly a testimony to the American dream and how it is still very much alive. We live in Rockford, so since we are unable to actually vote for you, we do want to support you in some small way. Our prayers will be with you. Our country needs more people like you in government. Sincerely, Stephen and Grace. Anyway, thank you, Stephen and Grace, and it's really a thank you to everyone who's part of this. It's not just only for me.
Some people send Post-it notes, and that's great too. Hey Shiva, rest well, be happy, and take care. Best wishes and prayers with you always.
And I think the last one I want to end with, this woman is Anita, and she says she's a waitress, okay, in a restaurant. And she says, saw you on InfoWars and recently on Next News Network, also SGI Report, where you mentioned the January edition of the Harvard Law Review. And then she basically ends by saying, she talks about, a lot of what we're all feeling. And she says, I do believe his word, which means Christ's word, or God's word, and I do see it unfolding in our times, reaching the climax of this age. So anyway, that's what I want to share.
I have one more. It says, Shiva, go get 'em. I don't know if you can see it.
So anyway, it's we wanted to share the light. At 9:30 today, I'll be going more deeply into really analyzing, further analyzing, and hopefully educating on how do we move things forward. It's, by the way, it's easy, not easy. Sometimes it's really hard to call out the establishment. I did that when we started doing this thing called Fire Fauci, and then we all, rose up. And just to give you a heads up, that petition online, to give you an idea, has gone now, and this is just the current numbers, and this is a petition we started, I think, about 5 days ago. I'd say 10 days ago, and it's gone literally up to, if you remember, this was a letter I submitted. And if, by the way, if people want to go here, you just go to shivaforsenate.com/petition-fire-Fauci. The other way you can get there is if you go to shivaforsenate.com and you want to participate in this, which I think everyone should, just scroll down to the bottom here where it says news, right on here, and it says petition Fire Fauci, and I'll be tweeting this out again. And if you go here, it basically is a letter that I wrote to the president, which said and it basically is a petition which says, I'm signing this petition to sincerely request your administration immediately indict and fire Anthony Fauci. But this was put out there to really bring everyone involved to it, and it really talks about that the current trajectory of Anthony Fauci's public health policy will result in the short and long-term destruction of our citizens' immune health as well as our nation's economic health, perhaps a conscious and intended goal. Dr. Fauci's policy at best is based on a 1950s outdated one-size-fit-all non-personalized approach. And you can go look at it, but if you look right now, nearly, this count has probably gone up by 5,000 times, is 51,000 people have signed. And how extraordinary would it be that we get it up to 100,000, which would be awesome. And you can see the people that are signing in from all over the country. Now we have, I think, 2,000 to 3,000 doctors who've actually signed this petition, and it just keeps going on and on and on if you want to see it, etc. So anyone out there, you can get on there, get on the bus and sign it. And in closing, what I wanted to let everyone know is that we have, as I mentioned, I am running for U.S. Senate, and if we have the need to get signatures, we need to get about 10,000 signatures to get on the ballot. In order, and it's a difficult process given all the coronavirus stuff that's going on. So what we've done is on the webpage, if any of you know people in Massachusetts, or if you're in Massachusetts, so if you're at home hanging out with your family and friends, or you know people, you can literally direct them to the page shivaforsenate.com with the numeral 4, and tell people to just scroll down right here. Let me go back to this here. If you tell people to scroll down, right in the first fold, there's a thing called Get Dr. Shiva on the Ballot. And if they click here, given it's hard for people to actually sign out on the grocers, where we used to go to the grocery store and collect, they can submit here, and literally when they come to this website, I think a lot of people are probably hitting the website right now, so it's gotten slow, so just be patient. But if you go to the website, there is a form that you can fill out. There it is, Get Dr. Shiva on the Ballot, and you can have your friends in Massachusetts put their first name, last name, their email, their phone, their address, their city, their zip, and then when they submit it, Michelle here is leading a whole team of amazing volunteers who actually get those electronic form results, and they are literally printing out envelopes, putting stamps on them. We actually need to put 3 stamps to get it to one of you, because you have to get it.
Thankfully, we don't have to lick the stamps anymore. I remember those days.
Right. So we send
thousands of those would not be fun.
So we send those out to you, whoever, and they easily just mail them and sign their signature. So that's one important thing everyone should be aware of. So anyway, be the light. Happy Easter to everyone. So I hope this was valuable for people. Keep writing them in. And by the way, if I don't get back to you in time, it's not that I'm ignoring it. It's just a lot of messages are coming in. We're really getting a lot of people to help with me answer them back and get back to you. But anyway, thank you very much. Let's celebrate a great Easter and recognize that there's a huge awakening taking place in the world. And let's spread the word. Thank you. Be the light. Thank you.
Bye.
And to people on Instagram,